Okay, there we go. Sorry. Hello, happy Juneteenth. I wasn't going to stream today, and then this thing dropped, and so I was like, okay, I'll do like a really short stream, and then go back to what I was doing. So, hold on. Ethan versus everyone, let's go. Or what was I doing? I was watching a movie with Lycan. But the content beckons. Wait, I want to go over this like globalize the Intifada shit. I don't even know what, like, I don't think this is gonna be the thing that sinks Zohran, if that's gonna happen. Let's see. Your sub should pay out 1.5 times for streaming today. But I was saying that I don't think, like, it actually took a minute to even see what he said, because there were people, like, the first things that I saw were people's reactions to it, not actually, like, the comments themselves. I don't think stuff like this is anti-Semitic. I just think it's a joke that, it actually gets framed that way, but I'm not surprised. I guess what's annoying is that, out of all of the things that he's said, if this is the thing that sinks it, then he was never going to win in the first place. So Queens Assemblyman and NYC mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani was interviewed on a Bulwark podcast on June 17th, where he refused to condemn the phrase globalize the Intifada. He said the term broadly reflects a demand for equality and human rights, not an inherent cult to violence, and pointed out that the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum has used Intifada to describe the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising in Arabic because it's a word that means struggle. Earlier today, the museum issued a statement condemning Mamdani's comparison as outrageous and especially offensive to survivors. It had quietly removed the word Intifada from its own materials in 2024, replacing it with Mukawama, don't know what that means, amid growing efforts to delegitimize the language of Palestinian resistance. Points out that the museum swapping Intifada for Mukawama, the word the M in Hamas stands for, only underscores the bad faith logic. Arabic words aren't the problem, the racist fear projected onto them is.
I am someone who I would say am less comfortable with the idea of banning the use of certain words, and that I think it is more evocative of a Trump-style approach to how to lead a country. And I think especially when we've seen...
Sure, but like, does that just make you uncomfortable? Like the phrase globalized Intifada, from the river to the sea, does that make you uncomfortable? Or do you think...
Okay, those are different. Those are super different.
They're not
those are
really.
Like different genres.
I'm sorry, I'm asking Zohran. Then they're not really different to me. And to some people, they're not different.
You know, I know people for whom those things mean very different things. And to me, ultimately, what I hear in so many is a desperate desire for equality and equal rights in standing up for Palestinian human rights. And I think what's difficult also is that the very word has been used by the Holocaust Museum when translating the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising into Arabic, because it's a word that means struggle.
Sure.
And as a Muslim man who grew up post 9/11, I'm all too familiar in the way in which Arabic words can be twisted, can be distorted, can be used to justify any kind of meaning.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it leaves me with a sense that what we need to do is focus on keeping Jewish New Yorkers safe. And the question of the permissibility of language is something that I haven't.
What a crazy man. What a raging anti-Semite. Can't believe that this guy might actually become mayor. Like, we're worrying about this when Eric Adams literally just hung out with, like, a notable anti-Semite. And then got away with it because he just said, I didn't know who he was. And everybody believed it and moved on. But we're going to hyperfixate on the fact that Zohran said, I'm not disavowing that. He's not even saying, like, to use it. He's just saying, I'm not going to disavow it. Which I don't think, I really don't care if people use it. there's less debate over I don't personally care if people use From the River to the Sea or Globalized Intifada or whatever. I mean, if you're asking me what I think is maximally effective, then I guess, yeah, don't use it. But because it ends up being a distraction more than it actually is like a rallying cry. But on principle, I'm not going to disavow it. I don't think it's anti-Semitic. And this was what I saw in reaction to it. So Lander is like probably my third choice, but if I were actually voting in this race, I would just vote for her. I would put him as my second choice. I'd put Michael Blake as my third choice, because this guy actually has a good chance of winning as well, I guess, if Zohran doesn't win. But he said that he thinks it's scary. Brad Lander, cross-endorsement Mamdani. When I hear the phrase globalized intifada, I say to people, maybe you don't mean to be saying it's open season on Jews everywhere in the world, but that's what I hear, and I'd like to hear that from other people.
The phrase globalize the intifada, I say to people, I'm telling you, all I can hear right now is some Jews were killed in DC and there was a flamethrower in Boulder, and maybe you don't mean to be saying it's open season on Jews everywhere in the world, but that's what I hear. And I'd like to hear that from other people as well. At the same time, though I am a strong believer in the vision of Israel as a Jewish and democratic state, I hate what the war the Netanyahu government is conducting in Gaza. I have spoken up many times for a ceasefire, for aid getting in there, for an end to the occupation of the West Bank and Gaza, for the human rights of Palestinians. And it's not the mayor of New York City's job, thank God, to try to achieve safety and, mutual self-determination between Israelis and Palestinians, but it is the mayor's job to show up and say, we're going to bring people together. And yes, I believe Zohran Mamdani is serious about that, or I would not have cross-endorsed him.
No, I feel conflicted even about raising it because I see it as a kind of political cudgel. The job of mayor is not to set Middle East policy. But then I also think if you're somebody that wants to see, whether it's you, Mamdani, a progressive win.
Of course, he's talking to a pod, John. I should have known.
Like this is, at a time when chaos in the Middle East is going to be salient in people's minds, especially a lot of Jewish voters. I worry that, hey, there's something about maybe beyond just the unfairness of the attack itself. Yep. What you said just made sense. There was something clear to me about what you just said.
I mean, I'll say one more sentence here. I mean, look,
nobody is actually both instances of this, both in Zohran's case and Lander's case. It's this abstraction. It's not either of them actually saying what they think. They're not going to do that. So they say, well, you might not mean it that way, but other people hear it that way. He's not really saying he hears it that way, but by taking time, I guess, to prioritize that viewpoint, it's a tacit endorsement in some way, but in the same way that I guess Zohran saying I'm not going to disavow it, even though he's not saying to use it, is seen as like a tacit endorsement. But they're just, it's this concern for a voter. I don't even know if they exist. I don't know if they exist. As in, if there's voters that care about this, would that really be the thing that flips their vote one way or the other? I don't know. You have President Trump inviting people that say what was that guy saying right before the election? There's this Trump rally and there's some guy who's like, yeah, Puerto Rico is like a floating island of garbage or something like that. They found one fucking voter who said that actually made a difference to them. Oh, what can you do? This was good though. Hold on. Meanwhile, okay, they're arguing over this highly academic boutique debate to me. It's over what phrase to use or whatever. Meanwhile, this is what the actual current sitting mayor of New York City is up to. Come with me to get stuff done.
Okay, got it.
And it's literally just him, again, walking through buildings.
Take care. Right. What? No. Okay, got it.
I have to be honest, I couldn't care less about a mayoral candidate's view on IP unless it's totally unhinged one way or the other. Because they can't do anything. They're a fucking mayor of New York City. It's a huge city, but they're not going to have any influence over foreign policy. I mean, Lander is even talking about this. This part of it is a virtue signal contest, really. Lander has a base that obviously he feels that he needs to say that to them. And Zohran has a base that I think is more accommodating and able to, hold in their mind the idea that maybe that phrase is not as bad as you think it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere there's some Zohran fan that's like, oh, I don't like that phrase or whatever, but I don't think it's many people. But whatever. Okay. Let's get into this content nuke, which, as somebody pointed out in chat, it's not really a content nuke. It's more of a announcement of a lawsuit nuke. But I'm suing these 3 creators. Thanks for watching. And let's see. I was skipping around in this, but I did not watch it all the way through.
Hi there. My name is Ethan Klein, and my favorite hobby is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers. Today, I invite you into my home to share my favorite pastime with you. Join me in creating generational wealth for my attorney. Let me tell you guys a story. About a year and a half ago, there's a big conversation called ReactGate. ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming.
There's literally a point, I don't know if it's in this debate, but there's a point before these conversations where XQC unironically argued that when he watches the World Cup on stream, or if he watched the World Cup on stream, maybe he did, that if there's an increase in viewership for him, it's because people want to see his reaction to the World Cup, not because he's streaming the World Cup.
Community about what constituted fair use. People like Hassan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even pause the video to speak. Most egregiously, they would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic.
Okay, here's the thing. Hassan Reactions is not his channel. I guess you can get mad at Hassan for not going out of his way to copyright strike it or whatever.
VOD to YouTube.
But it's not, what is the error? Is the error watching it on stream and not giving enough commentary? Is it not shouting them out? Is it the views? Because if it's the views thing, then it's up to these, I guess you have to ask these creators to start copyright striking it, but he doesn't care about the clips.
With the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to say about
Am I familiar with it? What, the ReactGate? Some of it.
This phenomenon.
I don't mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to...
Okay, the idea that reaction videos end up looking this way is not, it's not how it is, but it's enough, it's more like it would be lots of starts and stops to the point that it extends the video's length over an hour or so.
End in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work, or they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission, something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now,
who is this again? Lemmings?
The same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic.
Mind people.
Okay, so it's Ask Cosmic Traveler. So if I go to this person's thing, is there anything in their description asking creators not to do this? And you can say, oh, you shouldn't have to put the disclaimer, you shouldn't have to request that they don't do it. They should just not do it. But let's live in the real world and be practical and acknowledge that, yeah, streamers are going to react to it. Let's see. Cosmic Traveler.
reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played.
But I'm stupid. This is, I'm realizing, I started searching up Ask Cosmic Traveler. I'm a moron. Hold on.
So that they could.
I should have, Lamino. That's what it is. Lamino. There.
Entirety of someone else's work. Or, you know, they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that none of the major...
So the last upload was a year ago.
It's 9:50.
Does it say credits, references, and more? Really? So that's his policy, but he doesn't actually put it in the description. Like, he doesn't want people reacting. Become a channel member, join my Patreon with the links below. See, if I go to Jose's channel... See, I watched this video from Jose, friend of the channel, because he's subscribed to me. And it says here, if you are a streamer reacting to this video, please wait at least 1 week after its upload date. But even if you're just using short clips, you can play this right away. Also, please provide a link or some other means of directing people back to this channel. Thanks. Honestly, I think this should be kind of like industry standard at this point for creators that are making like video essays or anything like that they know could potentially be watched and reacted to by streamers. Like, if you make streamer-friendly content, do not think for a second that streamers are not lazy, impotent meat sacks that are just going to click the video and start watching. If you at least put that in, like, click the video and start watching, in fact, and then like think, oh wait, maybe this creator has like some policy or something like that. If that's not front and center in every single YouTube description box, like, hey, don't watch my stuff, don't react to it, or if you have a certain way that you want people to react to it, you know, in a just world, yes, I agree that maybe it wouldn't be the default, but you know, so long as YouTube streamers, Twitch streamers, Kick streamers, etc. exist, that's probably what creators need to do.
No, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry, because why should these content thieves essentially get more views than the author of the video, which
kind of like the copyright black screen before DVDs, legacy media. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, to be fair, he said, like, if you're reacting to it properly, then I'm not going to care. But if you're just almost straight up re-uploading it, then I don't like that. But there have been times where there's a lot of content on here that I watch it live for the first time, and I don't mean to, but sometimes I don't always have the most amount of commentary to have, because you get to the end of the video and you're like, oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be like.
In a lot of cases was happening. I mean, people don't like injustice, and we all see this and know it's not right. This debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime...
But I agree, obviously, that there's issues, but there can be unethical ways to go about doing reaction content. Does it follow from that you need to sue 3 creators? I sincerely doubt this.
Suspects called into my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terrible.
Sad to check out like Caseytron's like thing. Ethan Klein is suing me. This is real. Support my weed something. Support my weed fund. Okay.
Owned. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright? Or like the fact that it's illegal, does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if flat out doesn't, because...
Well, that's fair.
Watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, then watch your prime... Then watch your prime content.
Do it for a week. Do a week of no reaction.
Denham's Frogan Caseytron explicitly said they hosted watch parties for the H3 nuke to take views away from Ethan. They confessed, LOL. I keep hearing this argument from people. Do you realize that it doesn't matter if they say that that's what they intended to do, if that's not what they actually ended up doing? Does he actually prove in this video that they pretty much just re-uploaded it, they sat there, they didn't say a word, and it wasn't transformative? Because if one of them says before the stream, I intend to do this as like a market replacement or whatever, as far as I understand it, I don't think that the law is going to care that you said that. You could also say conversely, I'm not intending to do this. I'm not intending to just re-upload Ethan Klein's content. Sit there and you re-upload the content. Yeah, the law's not going to care that you put a disclaimer before of what you intended to do. They are going to analyze the way that you presented the content and if it was transformative. And if it was transformative, it probably negates the statement that you're saying, I intend to do whatever the fuck with it. Because regardless of what you intended to do, if the product is transformative, it's fair use.
content and see how many fucking views you get. Oh, okay, sure.
The worm.
I mean, that's content, man. It's original content, at least. The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that?
It's not a criminal investigation. There are no confessions to be made. LOL. People using buzzwords is always funny.
First. I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate and in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hassan Piker paving the way of fair use.
Did someone just raid me? Thank you for the raid, whoever raided me.
Seems to, after this debate and in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hassan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts. When Hassan gets up...
Wait, this drama happened a year ago. I remember he got into that fight with what's their name? JXC Empress of Milk. And he made Hassan himself made a fool of himself. But didn't he, like, improve his shit? Am I wrong? Maybe he didn't. With this person. I just remember he called them, like, a Nazi or something. Ay. So it was 3 years ago. See, he's saying, like, oh, the React content meta happened. This is older than I thought it would be. So he's saying that the React content meta happened a year ago because that's when his debate with Ethan happened. Or with XQC happened. But this goes back even further.
To go to the bathroom, or to eat, or to talk to his mom, or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time and leaves the video playing for his chair. Mr.
Okay, so is he getting sued? Why is only, if that's the case, then why is it just Denims, Frogan, and Casey Tron if he is an abuser of copyright?
Chair, they call it.
IDF had warned people to leave the area around the main airport in Sana. Then this.
This operation will result in killing hostages in captivity. Will result in the deaths of those.
Wait, this all sounds like news. This is news. Did he even, I mean, maybe he missed this, but like the criticism in this video is that, hey, you're hurting small creators when you do this. The criticism was not, hey, it's not fair that you're stealing content from like CNN and PBS and shit, or like the BBC. The point is that if you're going to be watching video essays from people, you are going to kill their ability to get their content out and their traction if a day or two, or even like within the first week that it's uploaded, Asmongold or Hassan or somebody else ends up uploading, or like a fan channel ends up uploading their reaction, and they just use the thumbnail and they put their faces on it, and it gets twice the views as the original one. It was not, hey, it's not good for you to react to like news.
This operation will result in killing hostages in captivity. Will result in the deaths of those.
Are there Hassan viewers? Does he like fix this? I think Hassan has gotten better about this. He shouts people out, etc. He goes out of his way to watch their advertisements. Granted, he sits there for 10 seconds saying ethical reacts, but I think he does when he can. Okay. I mean, it's not good, but it's hardly, again, why this is resulting in lawsuits is entirely unclear to me. Why this is something that we're only going to single out a few creators for is also unclear to me. It's a problem across any streaming platform.
Well, I've been
like if Ethan were serious about this lawsuit would be directed towards a platform that is not enforcing copyright infringement more or something like that. It would be directed towards Kick or YouTube or Twitch. It would not be directed towards an individual creator. There are websites that explicitly host and encourage people to post content, paywalled content from people's like OnlyFans, Fansly's, Patreon, whatever, for free. And it would be about as absurd if I were a creator who noticed my content was on there and I only went after that one. And like I was actually going to sue, not just issue a DMCA takedown, but actually sue, why would I sue one individual person instead of just suing the platform for a copyright infringement? Especially if I'm Ethan Klein and I have all this money.
And it was in this setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content?
A montage of Hassan leaving his chair is proof of what exactly? Can you believe Hassan isn't glued to his chair, guys? Shocking. I mean, he does this a lot. He will just post a clip, and you're supposed to just conclude that the clip is bad, even though I'm like, okay, is a chair react good? No. But how long was he gone? What was he reacting to? Was he reacting to a video essay from a small creator? Did he not shout the creator out? Did he leave for 10 seconds and come back? Did he go get food and come back? It's not self-evident to anyone but Ethan and his audience already that why I'm supposed to be mad at that, especially when he's like zoomed out and again, it was news. It was like almost all of that was news.
Content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist. They couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published.
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly.
Okay. So if I search Denims, does Denims even have a YouTube channel? Denims, Ethan Klein content nuke reaction.
It's happening.
Okay. So this is a re-upload from Denim's TTV. Fan run archive of Denim's stream clips. This was re-uploaded 4 months ago. This has 5,000 views. And it's 4 hours. How long is the OG content nuke? Ethan Klein content cop. Oh wait, no, not content cop. Content nuke. Okay, so the original one is oh, come on.
You can't. Jewish communities and huge
1 hour and 42 minutes. So what was that again, Ethan Klein?
And it was published.
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly.
Little to no commentary. This has, again, this is a 4-hour video in reaction to a less than 2-hour video. Seems like there was commentary added. So maybe Frogan didn't do it. Let's see if I put, I don't even know, does Frogan even upload her shit? Hold on. Frogan reacts to Ethan Klein content nuke. Wait, is it her full stream though? Maybe, let's see.
My God.
Hour.
48 Uyghurs.
Not so good.
Still on the nuke.
The show. No.
He's described himself as
still on the nuke.
These guys have been suicide bombing
yesterday. Like, what are we talking about?
Still on the nuke.
Hamas.
Joke.
No, that whole thing is a reaction. Frogan's. So this is Frogan's channel.
My name is Frogan, and this is the first time.
Okay, it's literally one video, so she never uploaded it, so I don't know what happened there. This is a fan channel with that in mind, and then what Casey Tron? I seriously also doubt that Casey Tron has uploaded it, but I'll check.
Giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined.
Length doesn't equal commentary. What else would it be? How else do you explain a 1 hour 42 minute reaction having 4 hours of content?
It would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now, the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denim sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views.
Mega thread, content nuke, where to watch and discuss. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Several creators have mentioned they're planning to stream their reactions or post reaction videos in the coming days. Here's a list of creators who've supported our sub, either by engaging with us directly or citing our posts in their own critiques of H3. If you're planning to watch along with any of them, we ask that you carry your subs rules into those spaces too. Feel free to check out Comrade Casey, Frogan, Shonda Black, Twitch, or Denims, Mike from PA, Hallucino, Genderog, Casey Tron, Do Not Worry Podcast, Uninformed Leftist. Happy snarking from your respective bunkers. Please feel free to share links to other streams, /creators, and react yourselves down below. What did he just say?
50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views.
How do we know that just based off of this? They didn't say that we've worked with these creators, we've partnered with any of these creators. They're saying, here's the it's a mod, and it's saying, here's creators that have like cited the subs because, or like that we like because they've supported the sub by citing posts. Keep watching the video. I'm reacting to the video right now. I have to. It's if you want to go watch the video and you don't want my commentary, go watch the video.
And their intentions couldn't be clearer.
I'm not going to watch the whole thing and like give my thoughts at the end. I never do that if you watch any of my other content.
Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Here's a list of creators who've supported our sub, either by engaging with us directly or citing our post in their critique of H3. Here they're offering these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is
Then wouldn't you sue these people? if that's the issue? One, if like, not that I really think that there's like a case here, it doesn't seem to make sense to me, but
the cardinal sin of copyright infringement. The Snark,
I'm no lawyer, so maybe I'm completely wrong, but
Snark subreddit has been a frequent and persistent infringement.
Remember what the standard of proof for Ethan working with the ADL, now compare it to what the standard for Snark working with streamers. We have far more evidence that Ethan was working alongside the ADL because they had shared goals than we do that we know for sure these creators collaborated with the mods and conspired to get content, get views away from Ethan Klein's content nuke, which again, this man has 6 million subscribers. This video has 3.5 million views. He did not create it for the purpose of what's more likely, that he created this for the purpose of ad revenue, or did he create it for the purpose of discrediting Hassan? He's suing the mods too. Did he announce that in this lawsuit, or it's just part? Or you're referring to like those old posts where he like tried to serve them with cease and desists?
That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers, actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So,
the Reddit page is referenced in the lawsuit. Does somebody have the lawsuit?
Thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a subreddit to admit
you had to provide direct communication of Ethan talking to ADL, or you were an anti-Semite for saying he was working with them. Real?
It's engaging in copyright infringement. But how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're
Scott Williams doesn't give them permission to just blatantly put the video on and leave it playing while they leave the room. I agree. I actually agree with that, because that would constitute something that falls outside of fair use, because it would not be transformative. Does this 4-hour video of Denim sitting here, pausing and reacting to the content?
Language
again, a video that is originally 1 hour and 42 minutes in length. Does that look like that's what she's doing? Is there any point where she even leaves the screen? I don't even see that in this. Maybe if it exists for Frogan and CaseyTron, maybe he shows clips or whatever in this, but they didn't upload it anywhere. A fan channel didn't upload it anywhere, but the one we already have, like, out of one of the 3 people that he's saying they didn't properly react to it, it wasn't transformative, he's already wrong. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. Wrong video, but yeah, he's already wrong. This is a proper reaction. If you have over 2 hours of reacting, how is that an issue? At that point, it's transformative.
Either by engaging with us directly. When this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers, actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So, thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a subreddit to admit it's engaging in copyright infringement, but how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here.
It turns out they just do it for you. You couldn't cook up a more incriminating...
This is the statement that people think is incriminating.
You tried. Denim's the queen of self-owning. You prevail again. There's one thing about copy...
One, keep in mind, this isn't the context. Didn't he just lose a defamation lawsuit? Am I crazy? Didn't he just lose, or he's like retracting shit because of a lawsuit that he just lost? Ethan Klein defamation lawsuit? I think it's more fair to see how she watched the video during the live reaction. Is the Twitch VOD still up? Is it that, or do you feel like you were BTFO'd on the point that she didn't actually meaningfully react to the content? This is not really about copyright, FYI. This is because he doesn't like their political opinions. This is because this is a way to get under their skin. That's what it is. Even engaging with it on the level of like the copyright like specifics or whatever, it doesn't even matter because that's not why he's going after these people. He did just lose a lawsuit.
Part of our...
Ethan Klein has lost his defamation lawsuit with Ryan Kavanaugh. Ethan is blocked from disparaging Kavanaugh, must review every podcast episode and delete any mention of him. Ethan also defamed countless pro-Palestine creators. They should get to do the same. Okay. Editorialization aside, just this.
Amicably moving on from this is that over the next 30 days...
For the sake of being good faith, what's a criticism you would levy at Hassan and his groupies? What the fuck does that mean? I'm reacting to Ethan's videos. I'm not here to defend Hassan or his quote unquote groupies. I do not care how people feel about Hassan. I don't care if people criticize him or the groupies. They just need to be good criticisms. And saying that she did not, meaning Denims or one out of like, we're already at a bad start. If 1 out of 3 creators that is being named in this lawsuit, and the way that he's characterizing her reaction and only showing her watching the content, but leaving out the fact that, again, this is not even her channel, but a re-upload of her VOD where she reacted to it is not actually her just sitting there re-uploading it. Otherwise, this video would be basically the same length as the content nuke if that had been the case. Why does he leave that out? Why does he try to give the impression she didn't actually give criticisms and commentary and make it transformative? I am not saying you need to like the commentary. I'm not saying it's intelligent. It may be some of the dumbest commentary I've ever heard, seen, or witnessed on YouTube. If I actually watch this, that's entirely possible, but that's not my point. My only point is that I'm not making a judgment on if it's good if it's good transformative content. I'm just saying it seems to be transformative content based like on a cursory glance at the fact that it's a 4-hour reaction to a slightly less than 2-hour long video.
Copyright you should know is that you got to register it before you publish to be eligible for statutory damages and attorney's fees, which is the main biting.
You have to say Hassan bad every 10 minutes or you're a bad faith Hassan fangirl. Dude, like this is a good criticism of Hassan. Who said that in chat? Where's that the make a criticism or whatever to be good faith, to show that I'm good faith somehow. Here, go watch JXC's video where they talk about how Hassan Piker jinxed in the issue of reaction content. Here, we can watch a little bit of it ourselves.
14-minute YouTube video in which I roast a weird house. It was, when I first released it, one of my worst performing videos for quite a while. It seemed like it was just going to end up being one of those videos that didn't get seen by that many people, and that's absolutely fine. You know, that is, until completely out of the blue, it was given a huge amount of extra exposure by an absolute legend. I'd never met this person. In fact, I didn't even know they existed before this, but the boost that they gave me almost doubled the video's view count in just a few days. And for that, I would genuinely like to thank the Reddit user who posted my video to r/videos. You did me an absolute solid. This kind of thing is genuinely really helpful.
See, this is the reason why this video is good is because if I remember it correctly, they go on to show good reactions of content, like good examples of reaction content and bad examples of reaction content. or different ways that content can be promoted and shared around and actually benefit the creators instead of the creators reacting exclusively.
Today we're talking about reaction content. Chances are you probably know plenty of creators who react and respond to the work of other creators. And hell, that's something I do plenty. For anyone who doesn't know, I actually started out as a response YouTuber. Be it in a stream or in a fully edited video, I've reacted and responded to a lot of other people's videos in my time. Here's a clip from one of those videos so you can see the kind of thing I do. Dip your balls in Tabasco sauce. Now when I cover other people's work like this, there are a few kinds of etiquette that I feel it's important to stick to.
Ethan lost an anti-slap motion to dismiss. The trial is still happening, I think. Oh, okay. Is this with the Ryan Kavanaugh thing? He's basically lost that anti-slap was rejected.
Basically, don't take the piss. In a reaction video, the reactor should still be adding stuff and creating content of their own, otherwise what's the point of watching their reaction over the original video? The content that the reactor creates should be at least different enough from the original work that they have created something of their own. For example, take a look at this video from Soot House.
This is 10 uplifting stories. The video is a minute long. These stories are gonna move.
Matthew Santoro's really fell off.
I love the idea of a minute long 10 uplifting stories, just like dogs good.
Can we at least watch the full 30-second clip of the tweet saying he lost the defamation lawsuit? What, this one? I watched this 46-second clip. If you're saying, oh, that clip doesn't exist or whatever, I just said, oh, when somebody pointed out, oh, he hasn't lost it. He just lost the anti-slap motion and has obligations that he has to fulfill or whatever.
Agreed to start scrubbing out the Ryan Kavanaugh segments. So say farewell to Ryan.
Oh wait,
Kavanaugh
no, I didn't watch this or whatever. I only read this part
from the H3 show. We will be with peace and love. We are saying no more Ryan Kavanaugh. Thank you. We will be cutting.
Way worse than Ian leaving.
And we can't disparage him either, Dan. So just be careful.
What disparage Ian?
I'm just saying, be very careful, because I really can't disparage him. But so anyway.
Read this lawsuit decision. It deals more with fair use and how judges decide fair use lawsuits. Ethan previously won this case. What the fuck is a fandom web thing going to tell me about anything? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in a position to correctly interpret any sort of like law or whatever. So any opinion that I give by definition is an amateur one that should be taken as like entertainment, not actually seriously. Two, even if I did, what am I supposed to do with a fandom thing? This isn't serious. I need like a lawyer or something explaining it. Is this where he was like, isn't this the one that people love him for? That like, oh yeah, he helped protect free speech?
Force of a copyright infringement lawsuit.
The document is right there. Yeah, but I can't interpret it.
Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now. I, Ethan Klein, have registered Hassan Piker Content Nuke with the United States Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating? Even though theoretically...
Or here. Oh, okay. Let's see what you want. If you mean this or whatever. Okay, this was 2017 court, United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Key facts. Plaintiff Matt Something is a filmmaker who created the video, posted on YouTube a short 5-minute skit about his character, Bold Guy, pursuing a woman. Defendants Ethan Klein and Ela Klein created a 14-minute reaction video commenting on plaintiff's video and also posted it to YouTube. In doing so, defendants showed portions about 3 minutes of plaintiff's video. Plaintiff sent YouTube a takedown notification. YouTube removed the video. Defendants then sent a counter notification challenging the takedown on the basis that their video was inter alia, fair use, and non-commercial. Plaintiff filed an action alleging copyright infringement and seeking Section 512F damages due to defendants having made alleged misrepresentations in their counter notification. Defendants then posted another video discussing the lawsuit, after which plaintiff amended the complaint to include a defamation claim. Both parties filed motions for summary judgment, and then it says issue whether defendant's reaction video showing a large portion of plaintiff's copyright video constituted fair use. Holding, after conducting the 4-step analysis, the court found that the defendant's use was fair as a matter of law and granted their motion. The court concluded that the first factor, purpose, and character of the infringing work weighted heavily in defendant's favor because their video is quintessential criticism and comment. The second factor, nature of the copyrighted work, favored plaintiff because the work was, quote, entirely scripted and fictional. The third factor, amount and substantiality of the portion used, was neutral because to comment on and critique a work, clips of the original may be used, and their use of clips was plainly unnecessary and reasonable to accomplish the transformative purpose of critical commentary. But at the same time, a great deal of plaintiff's work was copied. The final factor, effect of the use of upon the potential market, weighed in favor of defendants because their video does not serve as a market substitution. for caustic, moment-by-moment commentary and mockery. Accordingly, the court found defendants' use was fair and granted their motion for summary judgment. The court also dismissed plaintiffs' claims for damages under Section 512F because it had found that the use was fair, and therefore defendants' argument was true and not a misrepresentation. Also because they need only have a subjective good faith belief that their use was fair to avoid such damages. So outcome, fair use found. So he goes from this to now I'm suing 3 creators for reacting to my content, Nuke or whatever.
I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars, but the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear.
Genuine question, Aaron. Is there any legitimacy to any copyright claims from Ethan or anyone else, or is accusations totally baseless? I don't think it's not about, to me, whether or not there is. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there's some legal technicality where it could be or whatever. I just don't think that. I think this misses the forest for the trees to even analyze this video through that lens, because it's clear to me, especially since Hassan's not in this lawsuit for some reason, or bad empanada. Hold on. Bad empanada content. If I put like content Nuke. He did. I'm gonna say that. Okay, so this video from Furious George is 4.5 hours, which is roughly the same length as Denim's content reaction. So she got. He said, didn't he already say that she got like 50,000 live viewers, or I've like heard that somewhere, that she was getting 50,000 concurrents watching it live. But the re-upload on a fan channel, which is not even hers, gets about 5,000 views. Meanwhile, Bad Empanada has a video with 400,000 views where he is reacting to the same content. The difference is that I don't think he did it live.
It's very surprising to me that Ethan Klein, being a Zionist, would release a...
Like, does it at this point, like, how is this not like a market competitor or whatever?
They don't belong there.
By what the standards that Ethan is laying out for not properly transforming his content.
If the Jews of Israel are...
Ben Empanada is such a jerk. He said he wasn't going to talk to me because I don't have enough subs. Oh, well, my point here is not to defend him. It's like confusion about why Denim's getting 50,000 live viewers watching her, and then the upload only getting 5,000 gets her hit with the lawsuit, even though the reaction is 4 hours long. But his reaction is 4.5, only slightly longer. It's 4.5 or whatever. And it's the exact same format, it looks like. The only difference is that he didn't seem to do it live. It seems like he did it and then uploaded it. But he got 400,000 views, which is, the original one has 3.5 million views. I can tell this one probably got siphoned more views from that one if you're just going to exclusively look at it from the, like, is it a market replacement argument. Please stop streaming so late, LMAO. This is going to be a short stream. I'm just doing this and then I'm heading off to go back to what I was doing.
Actually, the opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving...
Are you simping for Big Dog Hassan? Hassan has a tiny head. No, I'm timing you out, because if anyone thinks I'm simping for Hassan, they're not listening.
Any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime.
The state of reaction content on Twitch is so broken.
This, again, people think that that clip is like some huge W. Why would her stated intent matter? Whether she says, I intended to do this thing, or I didn't intend to do this thing. What matters is, was it transformative? That's what's going to end up determining if it's fair use. Not statements people make around content. It's what did their content look like?
These creators feel comfortable looking right into a camera and saying outright, hey, I'm stealing this guy's content. Pay me instead of him. This is not a healthy environment. And with people like Hassan reacting to entire TV shows on stream, my fear is that Sony or Disney comes along, sues everybody, and sets a devastating precedent that could endanger our entire field. Now, before I tell you who the 3 people I'm suing are, I just want to make...
I know you guys think American is the world police, but he can't sue someone in another country. LMAO. He can't sue about empanada. He is in Argentina. I don't think you could. Good job getting like damages, but I'm pretty sure you are able to sue somebody in another country. So the question is it going to be worth it? It's not a matter of if you can sue somebody in another country. Of course you can.
Make it clear that they all met this very specific high.
But it's not worth it. I mean, none of these are worth it. He's suing the 3 people that he is far wealthier than any of those people. They're all are immediately already having to like fundraise for like legal funds to fight this or sue him back. I don't fucking know. Right? I think I put that. Hold on. I had like links of what they did. Yeah, like Denims was already saying this. It's 2025 and Ethan is suing creators for fair use. Legal defense fund below. Stream coming soon. Image unrelated. Like, if you're at the point that, again, she has to raise money just to be able to go to, like, meet him in court, this is already not worth it. It's to get under these people's skin. It's not to get some huge payout. Even if he could, if just because you're granted something in like a civil court, criminal court, or whatever, if you can't actually collect money, then it's like a symbolic thing at that point.
High bar of criteria that I set forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on their gender, their identity, their political beliefs. All 3 are on this list. In fact, they're the only 3, as far as I could tell, that reacted to the full video. Drum roll, please. Who's sweating at home, guys? Casey Tron, the queen of ripping farts and bong loads.
They do musicals. They're very musical people. Are you being serious? Dog, what do you... Look! You think I made this?
Frogan, who, bless her soul, she's still rising.
Okay. So, I mean, he already misrepresented how Denims reacted to the video. He made it seem like hers wasn't transformative. As far as I can tell, it was transformative. So I gotta say, I don't really have I don't watch either of these content creators. I have no reason to give Ethan the benefit of the doubt because we're already off to a bad start with misrepresenting how one of the creators that he's suing reacted to it. But let me grant that Frogan and Casey Tron didn't react, or like their content isn't transformative. Gonna point out that they didn't actually re-upload it anywhere, so they got whatever live concurrence they got. That was the extent of the views that they got, or like the VODs got after the fact. What's like Frogan's average viewership? What is Frogan's average viewership? Because can you really argue that like in a court, and I'm genuinely asking this, does a court, if I found if there was somebody who was like restreaming my content or reacting to my content, like let's say Rezi, okay, Rezavir is like reacting to one of my VODs or whatever, and he does it to like 80 viewers, and I feel like he didn't react well enough. Could I take him to court over that and have it actually be taken seriously? Like, could I actually say, hey, this is a market substitute when he does this because it wasn't transformative, and so he basically restreamed my content? Wouldn't it get tossed? Would a judge be like, yeah, but he only has 80 viewers, so get lost?
Can I walk away and use the bathroom? Do I have permission? Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
Can you watch a whole 90-minute movie over 4 hours and have it fall under fair use and not get sued by the film studio? I would imagine no, bouncy ball nut. But what do you think is the difference in that case between YouTubers reacting to other YouTubers' content versus a movie trying to do that with a movie studio, like a movie? There are ways to be transformative with movies or whatever, but because like those companies are way wealthier, they're corporate conglomerates that have the ability to enforce licensing agreements and copyright protections or whatever, people are very, very careful with the way that they go about it. With YouTube, not so much. It's kind of like an honor system mostly. And that's how Fresh and Fit got in trouble, because Fresh and Fit was going around abusing the YouTube copyright system or whatever. They admitted on Tim Pool that like, yeah, we go around and we copyright strike or DMCA videos that are critical of us because you shouldn't be able to get views off of making fun of us or disagreeing with us. That's not fair. Watching and responding to a YouTube commentary that is ostensibly about you is totally the same as watching a studio movie, dumbass, lol.
apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager whose only known gender.
You will get DMCA'd if you just include a clip of a movie in a larger video full of original content. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that the reason why people are careful around it is because even despite their best efforts sometimes, it still ends up getting copyright struck because it just ends up being granted automatically because, hey, Paramount Pictures has these content ID systems or whatever. YouTube flags it. You can try to appeal it and say, no, it's in the context of me giving like a comprehensive criticism or analysis of it, and it gets denied. And that has nothing to do with whether it's fair use or not. That ends up being just because the middlemen involved in this make an assessment that's according to them. It's not according to some objective standard, or in some cases, it's entirely automated. And when you try to appeal, it's up to a robot to sort it out. And if it's like these huge companies like fucking... If you watch something from The Daily Show and it automatically gets copyright ID'd, even if you feel that it was transformative, good luck fighting it. And at that point, it breaks down that it's even about it being transformative. It has way more to do with, like, does YouTube want to have to assume the liability and try to give smaller creators the benefit of the doubt when they're getting copyright notices from these big corporate conglomerates that they could risk getting lawsuits from? Or would they rather just side with the corporation and move on?
His entire life.
What happened?
And Denim's the queen of self-owning. And my God, is she the queen of that?
It's very...
But also, if you don't think that what they were doing constitutes fair use, then why not DMCA it at the time? Why preemptively have it put into the like Library of Congress or whatever? Wait for them to do it as like an entrapment, and then they do it so you could sue them. Like, again, if this were about copyright, or if this were a copyright thing, wouldn't he just DMCA it?
Obvious from the way that guy's talking, he's a Sneeko fan.
Oh my God, bro.
Wasn't this guy actually a Sneeko fan?
I love you, Hassan. Can I give you a hug, bro? I'm so sweaty, bro. I love you, bro.
None of the hostages that have been released so far have said that they have been raped. The hostages have public statements. You can go look at them.
The sexual assault I experienced should never happen to any human being.
This Yemeni kid is just a Yemeni kid with a gun and is not a Houthi, and there is no proof of him being...
If Denim's only pauses and comments like twice on an hour-long video with nothing but her face, it can be struck. Wow, I agree. Good thing that when she reacted to the content nuke, it was 4 hours of her watching, reacting, adding commentary, giving criticism, doing analysis. You can say that analysis was crude, bad, wrong, stupid, incorrect, but that is not illegal. It is fine for people to transform your content in a way that's critical, or in a way that's stupid, or in a way that you don't like. It would not mean that it's not transformative, though. That is the only thing that I care about in the context of reacting to this video, talking about that. And no, she's not just sitting there nodding or making faces or whatever. It's the original video is an hour and 42. Her video is practically 4 hours, and this is not even her channel. It's a fan upload.
Being a Houthi.
Are you a soldier? Yes. That seems pretty definitive.
He never said Hassan Nasrallah was a good guy.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen.
Now for the fun part. Let's
wait. Hold on. I know I've seen that clip. Hold on. Isn't he reading chat? If I put Hassan Piker, what do I even put? Hassan Piker, Nasrallah, whatever. Of course, of course. What is it? Drew Pavlov. Drew Pavlov or whatever.
إيران حتى ولو كان لوحدها أمريكا تتحمل مسؤولية هذا الاستهداف. في خطأ موجود بالعالم العربي بموضوع علاقات إسرائيل وأمريكا. وبنرجع بنعيد وبنرجع بنكرر، وهاي اسمح لي أقول لك أكذوبة اللوبي الصهيوني. إنه اليهود هن حاكمين أمريكا وهن بياخذوا القرار وهن عاملين وهن مساويين ومشاكل. لا، أمريكا هي صاحبة القرار. بأمريكا في شركات كبرى، في مثلث ثالوث، شركات النفط، شركات السلاح، وما يسمى بالصهيونية المسيحية، هو أصحاب القرار. هذا التحالف. إسرائيل.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base.
I'm pretty sure by your definition, the people that restroom Cartoon Network on TikTok but have no VODs are not committing copyright infringement. Are you okay? Are you having a stroke? Did you mean restream Cartoon Network on TikTok?
I mean, listen. Listen.
Oh, wait.
شركات النفط شركات السلاح وما يسمى بالصهيونية المسيحية هو أصحاب الأراء هذا التحالف إسرائيل.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen.
He's reading chat.
Listen. You have to remember something, okay? A lot of these dudes, you see them in their fucking fits, and you hear about like some of their attitudes about like gay people, for example, and you immediately fucking resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million. Okay? Like, it's not a broken clock situation. No, dude. Half of these dudes literally get educated in America and in the UK. What the fuck are you guys talking about? This is why it's Orientalist to literally look at these dudes and go, oh no, they're fucking barbaric baboons. And like sometimes they get this shit right. No, dude, he knows.
This is supposed to be a bad clip of Hassan where he's saying that like, yeah, people look at Arabs or whatever, they disagree with them and they think they're baboons. But that's dumb.
It's crazy.
All he's saying is that he's like intelligent or whatever. You could say like it's possible. He already said yes, they have bad beliefs or whatever. But you can say critique their bad beliefs without saying well they're stupid or backwards or barbaric.
Let's take a look at the complaints and let's
also again the fact that the clips of denims that we're showing is not other instances of her violating copyright. But her saying opinions that Ethan disagrees with or doesn't like is not exactly doing much to diminish my impression that this is not just spiteful and unrelated to him actually being concerned about copyright.
Start with my favorite of the three, the very own, the prestigious, the highly acclaimed, the highly analytical Casey-tron.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're going to watch it.
Well, that's a really dumb thing to say, don't you think? Why are you so comfortable? We've given each complaint a clever little title, and here's Casey-tron's. She smoked more than she spoke. Casey-tron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be
H3... Or what are you putting? H3 has been copyright struck to the ground and his clips were 2 to 3 times longer than the videos. Or equals 3 has been copyright struck. Oh, I remember him. Those lawsuits were successful because the copyright holders were able to prove that equals 3 was a marketplace substitution for their own IP. Not a lawyer, but that's my understanding of the lawsuits. I mean, do you have even like a link to one of the lawsuits or something? One of the 4 factors of fair use is the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. Exactly. One of 4. They're not only going to look at if it's a market substitution. If I make a criticism of a small video on YouTube that I found, and my criticism of their video not only includes clips from the smaller creator, but ends up going viral and dwarfs the views of the original video that I was criticizing by like 1 million compared to their like 2,000 view video, they could not sue me and say, hey, that's not fair because she responded to me and she got 1 million views and I only got 2,000 views and I probably would have gotten those 1 million views if she hadn't responded to me. They look at and like, therefore she's doing a market substitute and it's no longer fair use. The court is going to look at, okay, but that's only one factor. Is it a market substitute? Is it transformative? Is there commentary, criticism? Is there something original of value being produced? And something new being made entirely?
funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking, and thinking there was no way that that could be true. Well, we
This is stoner discrimination. What the fuck?
Tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15 minutes 40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking.
Okay, then DMCA it. Why are we suing?
Spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction. And whatever
Hassan is just like the Grand Mufti? Wait, why do you say that? Is that a meme?
talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
The complaint continues. Indeed, Casey Tron is often too obliterated to comment on the nuke, and instead stares blankly at her computer screen.
So this says, indeed, Casey Tron, that in a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, Casey Tron smokes marijuana, frequently in a highly concentrated form through a vaporizer. So through a vape. For nearly 19 minutes. Can a girl smoke? Can a girl vape anymore? No, he made a comparison in the lawsuit, apparently? No way. Like, do you have a link to that? Is it true? That sounds like a meme. And comparison to all that sounds like a meme, though. For nearly 19 minutes, which is 3 minutes more than Casey Tron speaks during her group viewing session. At one point, Casey Tron is so wasted that she states, "What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I lost the plot." Wow, so some stoner. Who gets what, like 300 viewers or whatever, is like, yeah, really rivaling, really stealing what, like market replacing the 6 million YouTube subscriber, 3.5 million viewed video.
And a span of
like, I wouldn't even doubt it if by some technicality, if this went to court and a judge had to preside over it and she had to have a lawyer, that she would be SOL because it would objectively not be fair use or whatever. It's just so unserious to me. Just DMCA it.
2 hours and 7 minutes, Casey Tron smokes marijuana, frequently in highly concentrated forms through vaporizers, on 42 separate occasions. At one point...
Straight, it's this. What is this? This is not real. Where are people getting this? It's in leftovers, but this could be photoshopped, no? I'll look through the leftover subreddit for it, maybe, or whatever, but this seems like a meme.
Casey Tron is so wasted that she states, quote, "What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I've lost the plot."
Here's a full lawsuit, apparently. The chair. The nightmare on Denham Street. I put, like, Mufti. Oh my god. H3 Snark promotes denims as a substitute to watching the nuke. Throughout January 2025, Ethan built up public interest in the nuke by frequently discussing it on the H3 show. The audience of Hassan and his waiting room, who comprise a large portion of the users on H3 Snark, how can they prove that? How do you know that? Anticipated the nuke with religious fervor to defend their proverbial Grand Mufti from criticism. These fanatics, however, did not want to watch the authorized version, the nuke, because TEI would reap the benefits from the views resulting in advertising revenue. Is this real? This is like... It's like a meme lawsuit. Like, if that's real, why would they even include that? It's so unserious. It's like 80 pages. It's not about the DMCA. It's a vendetta, LOL, but them falling for it is on them. Is a photo of the Grand Mufti in this, though? H3. Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, this is real. That they included that. Why? Arabs rise as one man and fight for your sacred rights. I don't understand this. How much time and money does this man have?
To give you an idea, the majority of her commentary comes down to this.
This is like, again, like in a stunning PR move, Ethan Klein has decided to retain a lawyer, enter like a unserious meme lawsuit, probably again thousands of dollars, instead of just I don't know, donating that same amount to like a charity or something, like a Palestinian charity, to get these people off his back or whatever it is. Try to recoup the audience that he feels he lost due to these people lying about him. But no, let's spend a bunch of money like doing this. Okay, man.
This bit that he's doing.
He's read more books than you could
read the paragraphs before. Oh wait, I should have done that right. You said 16. What did he put? So weird, man. So weird. So what did he put? In wake of October 7th, Hassan emerged as the modern incarnation of the Grand Mufti Haj Amin al-Husseini. Like al-Husseini, Palestinian cause. Like al-Husseini, Hassan used his massive platform to spread genocidal rhetoric about anyone advocating for the right of Jewish self-determination in their ancestral homeland, i.e. Zionists. The primary difference between Hassan and al-Husseini is that al-Husseini worked with the Nazis and advocated the annihilation of Jews, while Hassan advocates the annihilation of all Zionists. Okay. Why is this in this lawsuit? Since the vast majority of Jews in the United States say caring about Israel is essential or important, this would necessarily include the vast majority of Jews, even if they support the Palestinian cause and vehemently condemn the actions of the Israeli government. Jesus Christ. This is so stupid. This is so embarrassing. I cannot believe, again, wasting money on this, like wasting time, money on this lawsuit. To like enter into like a public legal record that you like characterize this on this way. I don't get it.
Ever imagine? CPM's coming out of Qatar.
What the hell
you
is
kids
going
love anime,
on?
right?
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
You were just covering it for views. It's stupid and embarrassing. Well, then you can leave if it's stupid and embarrassing. You don't have to watch me do it.
They do musicals. They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this?
This isn't a music video, Hassan.
And as dumb as all of that is, this is the part that really got her sued.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily.
You know, it's like funny. Like what's in my mind right now, as people are making legal technicalities for why this lawsuit should be taken seriously, which may or may not get off the ground, it is reminding me of people that tried to make like technical legal arguments, like I saw Mike from PA do on Twitter, as to why CPS should be called on Ethan's kids because he overshared and said disgusting things on like a podcast episode or whatever. This is now just H3's turn to do that same shtick, but instead of making some argument as to why like a kid getting Giardia or whatever needs to like be visited by, or like means that the Kleins need to be visited by CPS, and like a reaction streamer not actually reacting who gets like not that many views, instead of Ethan Klein just using DMCA tools to get rid of it, we must do lawsuits against them.
Supporting Ethan Klein without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're gonna watch it. What the fuck is going on here?
Stating outright that her intention of doing this is so that people who don't want to support me.
I support eye for an eye, TBH. Well, that's stupid. So you just have no principles then.
Can watch it through her is why copyright infringement laws exist. You could not and should not do that, especially if you're...
Also, how if eye for an eye, it like insinuates that there's parity in the situation. What is it? What like... In response to them having an example of copyright infringement, they should be sued for thousands of dollars or what? Having to deal with like a bullshit, very unserious lawsuit. That's eye for an eye. Or these three people are supposed to be scapegoats for all of the harassment that Ethan has received. That's eye for an eye.
Commentary can...
And like, let's pretend he won. How is this going to be, like, only affect them? Depending on the way he went about it, no? Couldn't it set some, like, dangerous precedent that could impact everybody?
Of you taking bong loads. At least try to engage with the content. Whoa, what was that? Oh, Sorry. That was
And
a
did those 3 people have anything to do with the CPS call? LOL. As far as I know, no.
flying star. It almost got me. You know her and you love her, guys. Frogan. Reaction by exiting. Here she is getting up to leave the video running as she steps out of the room. Is that transformative? I guess I
don't think the MCA does enough in Ethan's mind to hold them accountable. I know, because it's not really, the goal is just to hurt them and annoy them. It's not actually to do that.
Judge will decide. She said, quote, "It's time to watch the new Nuke ethically. Hell yeah." Huh. Very smart to say on camera, by the way. She said, quote, "Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me." Well, you are so welcome. And I'm so glad that you were.
That doesn't tell me anything. Time to watch the new Nuke ethically. I do appreciate everyone's support. Thank you for watching it with me. Again, watching it with me. Was her video not like, you can, that doesn't tell you anything. That's not evidence of anything. Unless he has proof that all she did was re-upload my content. All she did was restream it, and she was just sitting in the corner shaking her head. She didn't actually do anything transformative with it or whatever. Thank you for watching. I say thank you for watching at the end of, like, yesterday I streamed 9 hours. I streamed 9 hours. I said thanks for watching. Would that be proof alone that someone's video that I watched or whatever I just restreamed because I said at the end, "Oh, thanks for watching it with me ethically"? You would have to prove that she didn't actually didn't fall under fair use. It's a very normal thing to thank your audience for. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for watching it with me. Well, you are so welcome, and I'm so glad that you were able to enjoy that day. Her commentary is so non-existent that even her own fans.
Like, if I went to his reaction streams to where he went over the iDubbbz content cop, if he says, could I sue him? If I were Ian, could I sue him and cite, hey, here's how he was a market replacement for my video. At the end, Your Honor, he said, "Thanks for watching the content cop ethically. Thanks for watching it with me, guys." Would that be enough? No. And like the fact that he shows that and like not anything else is like a stronger point is like unserious to me.
Begin to call her out.
I don't have anything to say, dude, because he's cycling the same fucking points over and over again. What more commentary do you need on him repeating the same fucking points for the whole first hour and 1 minute and 32 seconds?
I mean, that video is very long. I have never finished. I've never finished this or whatever. I've probably seen like maybe, I can't remember what point I stopped watching. I only watched like 30 minutes of this or whatever. And I was like, it does not take an hour and 42 minutes to criticize Hasan very well. This video could have been like less than half an hour and far more effective.
Been the same shit over and over again. This video could have been condensed into 20 fucking minutes. Like,
yes, true. This is just a true statement, regardless of how you feel about Frogan. That is true. That's the same impression that I got from watching this video.
What commentary do you want me to add by like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot, he's mentally ill, and he's having a mental breakdown and uploaded it to fucking YouTube? Are you gonna make at least one good point? What do you want me to make a point on?
Oh, I forgot. She also said, "Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing." You may use the bathroom, Frogan, although I don't advise it.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
This into your stomach. And let me state the obvious. Jew and
apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happens?
Well, you just pause it. That's it. You just pause the video, right? Like you get up and you go to the.
Ethan watches and reacts to other people's content nearly every day on his podcast. I mean, by his own standards that he's laying out, he makes himself far more vulnerable to being slapped with frivolous lawsuits over what does or does not constitute fair use. Because, again, by virtue of his huge platform, both on H3H3 Productions and on H3 Podcast YouTube channel, which has like 2 million subs, I think, any video that he watches, no matter how transformative it is, even if it's let me grant that it's transformative, it's fair use or whatever, he effectively can become a market substitute, especially since he's making fun of people.
The bathroom, you just pause it.
Like when he was going after Vosh or whatever, when he was going after Vosh, Vosh's reaction streams and stuff like that, I mean, he could have dropped the link in chat and stuff like that. But do you think the people that are there to watch H3 roast Vosh are going to go watch him afterwards? And it's like, one, no, but two, even if they didn't, so what? Because that's not the only standard to look at when you're evaluating if somebody's content was transformative or fell under fair use. You don't just say, did you get more views? Did you end up being a market replacement? His videos on Vosh probably got more views than all of Vosh's response videos combined. It's so, and the idea again that he is trying to argue that content creators far smaller than him are siphoning content from him. How? Or like siphoning views from him. How? When again, like if that's the standard, and this is again, somebody who's like, oh, why would you sue somebody outside the United States? I mean, why would you sue somebody in the United States with the First Amendment protections that we have, and how, especially in California, which I know that's where Denims is, there's a good chance or whatever that she could argue that like, yeah, of course this is fair use. It's a 4-hour video of me giving commentary the entire time, like watching and then responding and giving commentary and criticism. And again, she got her 50,000 live viewers, fine, but then she gets 5,000 views afterward. And this is supposed to be, again, a competition to a channel that has 5.6 million subscribers on a video that has 3.5 million views. For a video that he made not to make AdSense, I'm sure that's a benefit, obviously, but just because he wants to discredit Hassan. But somehow not Bad Empanadas that got 400,000 views and is only 26 minutes longer than hers, or like 30 minutes longer, but in the exact same format. The exact same format of like watching.
How does that mean that he's not also a socialist, right? There's lots of people who are like this.
He's going to be, he's like talking or whatever.
Realistic, and if eventually you will move towards something that, even though we are living on the same, this is the
cold radicalization funnel, catch them while they're young, as they say.
And protections for workers,
this is like unhinged conspiracy theorist shit, dude.
Higher unionization rates, a lighter form, while simultaneously still doing agitated propaganda that goes beyond social democratic ideas.
Hell, he's proclaimed it loudly that he is a self-described propagandist.
I'm a propagandist.
And?
Well, no, the record.
You think you're not a
like sitting there, like just sitting there listening and then giving your commentary after you pause it for a second. But you didn't go after him, even though, again, 400,000 views is far closer to being a rival for your content than Denims with 50K plus 5,000 views and is 4 hours long.
They should be watching for you. But if you get up to go to the bathroom and they keep watching my video, they're clearly not watching for you, right? As lazy and pathetic as her reaction is, this is not why she's getting sued. This is.
Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me. First time viewer, time to watch the Nuke ethically? Hell yeah. I found my way from Reddit. Hi guys, welcome Reddit people.
Oh, so she was reading like a chatter? When she said that, she was like, oh, hell yeah, because they said that.
Reddit people, Reddit people.
The claim would rely on the streamers explicitly stating the intent is to deprive the creator of compensation for their work. This is the third time I've said this. I do not think that a court is going to prioritize the statements of intent before or after they react to content instead of just evaluating the content. The intent is not going to negate the transformative nature of their content. Just because someone says their intention was XYZ doesn't mean that's what they ended up doing.
I came from the HP Snark Reddit. Ethan is so pathetic while Hassan is in Japan. I'm bothered.
Like if Denims had said, and like let me do again, Ethan's I'll grant Ethan everything. She watched it just to re-upload it. If she said at the beginning of that, I am not doing this. I'm not just trying to be a market substitute and steal Ethan Klein's content. I'm going to react. I'm going to react comprehensively the whole time. If she nonetheless doesn't end up reacting and just sits there in the corner with her face like nodding or saying, wow, every couple of, like every 10 minutes or whatever, she can't point to the statement at the beginning and be like, oh, but how can you say it's not fair use when I say at the beginning, I'm explicitly trying to make sure it's fair use? Even though when you look at the content, it's not.
Great time, exactly. We're going to watch it live, yes. He doesn't want people to know when it's dropping because we're all watching through other streamers. And I suggest you all watch it through other people as well.
It's the stated malicious intent to steal. They talk about watching ethically, but I learned not to steal when I was 5. Up next is Denims. And honestly, just take a look at this, guys. It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only did she check,
I mean, he like really just seemed to do this whole lawsuit just so he could like have memes to put in this video.
React, but she was kind enough to write her name right at the top just so that we knew that she was stealing my content and it was her room and nobody.
Yeah, that's dumb. How many people title their streams or videos ending X's career, etc. You can't just say they're a market substitute. Look at what they said. They want to be a substitute. Yeah, it's like it's one factor of multiple for one, and two, even if you do it, if the court evaluates the content, it can still be fair use just because you say that.
else's. Judge, did you know that we're on Denim Street right now? Here's some quotes from Denims. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the Nuke views. Yeah, I'm going to stream it. Since he's confirmed it's coming out today, I'm going to stream it. That is very explicit. Denim said, quote, well,
why these three people in particular? I don't know. They're scapegoats for his crusade against creators that he doesn't like or feel have like wrongly maligned him or criticized him in ways that he doesn't like.
Guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, give me a follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. Your content? The Queen of Self-Own included a countdown timer so we could tell exactly how long she was away. After being gone for a few minutes, she returns and then sits silently for another couple of minutes eating.
I'm gonna go pee, and hopefully, when I'm back, they're done with this.
See, okay, this is what I saw as well. Graham pointed this out. Ethan Klein claims he would only sue for copyright infringement if the infringer met an incredibly high bar. To demonstrate this, he claimed that he wanted to catch people reacting to an irresistible piece of prepared content. So why does his lawsuit against Denim cite the live stream before the nuke? Surely this is just about defending copyright. He also registered the stream with the Library of Congress. This says, too, this case involves a group viewing session hosted by defendant Denims. Denim specifically intended her group viewing session to siphon views and revenue away from TEI's copyrighted works. 1. Content Nuke Hassan Piker, The Nuke, and 2. The H3 Show number 105 Countdown to Doomsday countdown episode, collectively The Works. Denim's timed her group viewing sessions to coincide with the exact moment TEI released The Works. Her timing was intended to capitalize on the intense public interest in the works and siphon the maximum amount of views and revenue away from the works to herself by showing the works in their entirety, or nearly in their entirety. And then this says type of work, motion picture, and then the registration date, the application title is that stream, Countdown to Doomsday, H3 Show number 104, with the title, description, USB flash drive, and then the incorporation or the copyright of it, whatever. So this just seems like a flimsy honey trap or whatever.
You
do look better.
Mr. 305. I see it.
Dude, you should do this.
I haven't.
He explicitly says why these three, if you cared to listen to the video you're watching, they have made malicious comments about stealing his content and being an explicitly market replacement. Oh my God, this genius in my chat. Not even XQC said that. And he pointed out XQC explicitly. I love how you think that that's a point in Ethan's favor and not a massive point of hypocrisy to demonstrate that this is not really about copyright infringement. And this is actually just about personal vendettas. You're literally saying he picked these people because they made malicious comments. You'd think that it's about stealing his content, even though you say in the next comment right underneath it that because XQC didn't say that, even though he may very well, may very well have re-uploaded it, he's not going to go after him. So it is just personal. You're trying to use the court to settle a personal vendetta, and you're trying to weaponize like the copyright system in DMCA to do it.
An alternate.
We're relying on you to stay live so we don't give more views on the nuke. Yeah, I'm gonna stream it since he
didn't. Ethan react to those streams? I don't get it. Well, it's transformative when Ethan does it. He does it, but when they do it, it's malicious. It's wrong. It's against the law, etc.
Confirmed it's coming out today. We're gonna stream it. If you want to watch it with someone else who's already watching it. You know, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here, because I'm going to be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself.
Let me also commercialize it by asking you to reward me financially for stealing his content. That is like chef kiss. By the way, Denims had a very...
Why does it have to be mutually exclusive? It's both personal and copyright, because if you are, you know, it's illegal to file lawsuits in bad faith, right? It's like literally against the law to do that. And if you can find a punitive aspect of this or whatever, that, like, I'm not saying it negates a legal claim. He very well may be able to go to court and prove this in a court of law or something like that. I'm just talking about my own assessment of it and how I see this. And I think it's just a cynical and transparent way that he's like clearly weaponizing like copyright law or whatever, and using that as a smokescreen to go after critics and people that he doesn't like or has a personal beef with to settle the score.
Successful stream. She had 43,000 people watching her.
I guess it's not enough that he has 6 million YouTube subscribers. It's not enough that he gets hundreds of thousands of views. It's not enough that he has this massive podcast where he makes all this money. It's not enough that he has these producers that are like his besties. It's not enough that he has this like diehard, like loving community of like 12 plus years. Also, there also needs to be like no negative criticism of him. Even though, as far as I understand, that podcast and his channel is dedicated to just dunking on lolcows and making fun of other people. But it's not so fun when you're the one being made fun of, is it? It's not so fun to be the one on the receiving end of the harassment, is it? It's not so fun to be the lolcow.
Take a look at the title of her Twitch stream. Ethan Klein Hassan content Nuke watch party. A watch party? I don't think that's fair use. Now, Denim's, of course, always delivering the goods. She went on this dude's podcast to debate fair use. And would you be surprised if I told you she said a lot of incriminating things in that podcast? The Queen.
Also, a funny thing, Ethan said in the past he was releasing his IP for free use. He only didn't want people to re-upload his full VODs, but it's all reacts to. Unless he retracted that later, it doesn't look good. I saw somebody say that he retracted this. Whatever this is. I agree. He should not do anything to people harassing him. Oh, that's what you think I said? Why don't you try one more time? You get one more time to tell me what you think I was trying to argue with what I just said. Pamesto? Give it one more try, otherwise you're banned.
Here's to all the industry.
Guys, like, remember when I said Ethan Klein is not allowed to criticize or touch any of these people that have been mean to him? Remember when I said that?
Real entrepreneuring spirits out there.
These people are the kings of bad faith. I don't feel sorry for them at all, to be fair. I mean, I don't care if people feel sorry for them. I care that I do not give a shit. People don't need to feel bad for any of these people. It's not that. The point is that is an entirely separate point from whether evaluating whether or not Ethan is doing this in good faith and because he's genuinely concerned about copyright infringement of his content, or if he's just doing it to weaponize it against his critics and people that he doesn't like and smaller creators that he has the upper hand over because he is far wealthier than them and he has a bigger reach than them.
I am opening our IP to the world. This is a message with peace and love.
You can now make your own H3 podcast. That's right, everyone.
I guess you
could. What you mean?
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. No.
Gotcha.
You can't make a fake H3 podcast. Although you probably could, actually, because I don't think anyone would mistake it.
I mean, if it's a parody, you can do whatever you want.
Anyone would mistake it. So our IP is open. I got inspired by Hassan. He has the Hassan Industrial Complex. But I want the Ethan Industrial Complex. I think it's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
And it's actually crazy how many people are seemingly making a decent living from having their own clips channels of him.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to cut up clips from the podcast, from our members.
I wouldn't be surprised if he changed his stance on this around the same time that he was debating XQC about fair use and stuff like that, because wasn't the whole thing that spurred the debate over that were accounts that were trying to, he started seeing H3 clip channels pop up and then he didn't like it. He didn't like the effect it had or something like that. And so I'm pretty sure he has reversed his position on this, but I've not seen it since.
Queen of self.
Wasn't that before this? No, because at the beginning he referenced this and he was about a year ago and he showed a thumbnail from a debate that he had with XQC and it wasn't even 2 years ago.
Phone never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on filler content and stuff. I think filler content, you shouldn't do it. I know I do it.
JXC, this is who I was talking about. This video is good. This is a comprehensive video that does not go. JXC didn't sue anybody, even though JXC probably could have sued Hassan or for just copyright infringement or whatever. But JXC wanted there to actually be a resolution to their complaint. They made a comprehensive video talking about the wrong ways to do reaction content, or what qualifies as reaction content, which is people just re-uploading and being in the corner and nodding their heads, against ones that were genuinely transformative, where somebody was giving criticism and actually reacting. And then says the solution that they want, like here. Maybe it's here where
reacting to Hasanabi's original content that he worked really hard on and made all by himself. Why? Because I was cooking while that was happening. Is that why? Hassan, if you see this, I'm happy for you to react to my videos. If proper credit is given, however, please don't just let them play as filler, sitting there saying very little and just having lunch or leaving them in the room. Like, come on, man, I'm fine with React content. It just requires a substance or significant reaction and proper credit.
See, totally reasonable. So JXC notices that there's a they feel that their copyright or like that their content is being exploited, or they're not given proper credit because this massive streamer is reacting. They're not linking. They're not shouting out the creator. They're not telling their viewers to subscribe to it. They're not giving enough commentary, like none of that. So instead they respond with a comment like, hey, here are some, like, I'm fine if you react to it, but please give credit. Please don't let it sit there as filler. Please, like, actually react and give me proper credit or whatever. They didn't just, like, jump to a lawsuit. Famesto, JXC wasn't getting harassed. Oh, remember when I said I would ban you if you didn't actually try to give a good faith analysis of what my argument was? See ya. Because you saying that this person wasn't getting harassed, which isn't true. Hassan literally called them like a fucking Nazi, if I'm not mistaken. It's not actually an argument. Or in response to what I asked you to say, if you don't want to be banned.
Just having lunch or leaving them in the room. Like, come on, man, I'm fine with React content. It just requires a substance or significant reaction and proper credit. Okay, fair.
Oh, okay. He's taking it really well.
That's totally fine. He makes the most sense.
Well, that's nice to see, isn't it?
I mean, I understand.
Sweet, dude.
My man said,
you're trying too hard to please these weirdo Hassan haters. Hassan's not even the one being sued. Why do we care if he's doing fair use or not? Because Hassan is not above reproach or criticism, and there are good faith criticisms and to make of Hassan. There's plenty. And this is an example pertaining to the exact issue that's relevant to the content nuke that Ethan put out that is far better and gives a model and guide to larger content creators on how to ethically react to content and video essays without screwing over smaller content creators and helping them actually succeed. I have no stake in defending Hassan, nor do I have a stake in trying to hate him or whatever. I don't watch Hassan. I don't have any attachment to him.
React harder.
Oh. So I have like 30 minutes of Hassan's response to work with in my...
Can you answer this? If 5 people steal from you and you know 2 of them personally and you know they have money and they steal from you because you're a Jew, is it personal if you call police on them? Oh, so you're crazy. You're like a crazy person.
Editing room here. If I was the kind of shady fuck to choose the clips I play with maximum bias, I could make Hassan look like a wonderful saint.
I personally don't care. But if others do, then, dude, absolutely, I will respect that. 1000%.
Or I could make him look like the biggest gaping asshole who ever lived.
Just such a fucking dingus, dude. Just show their channel name, dumbass. How is that so fucking hard? Like, what is this attitude that you have? You stupid fuck.
Man, how are both those clips from the same stream? Well, all will be explained, and I feel that I need to start that explanation by giving credit where credit is due. You know, because giving credit is important. As soon as he found out that I didn't really appreciate his non-transformative reaction stream where he played my content, he apologized and made it clear that he wouldn't play any of my videos on his streams again.
They have every right to be like, yeah, fuck off, dude. What the fuck are you watching my video? I will never watch their stuff ever again, for the record, if they're upset about it. If you don't want me watching your stuff, I will gladly never watch it. I'm really sorry. I apologize.
What Hassan seems to have respect for is a YouTuber's right to opt out of something like this.
If a content creator makes a fucking YouTube video and they're not happy with me, like,
6 months, chat,
watching, then I fucking won't watch it. Personally, I don't care. But if other YouTubers do care, then, dude, absolutely. I just won't watch it. I personally don't care. Okay? I get upset if they, like, use it to misrepresent.
Wait, don't care. Oh, okay.
It or anything like that. I personally don't care. But if others do, then, dude, absolutely, I will respect that. It's not okay to, you know, play someone else's video if they don't want you to play it.
And, I mean, it is good that he has this attitude, but ultimately, the phrase bare minimum does spring to mind. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Him saying this is better than the alternative.
Like, he knows it's like a frequent problem or whatever, and he's like, well, they have to contact me if they don't want me to just restream their content or whatever.
But the alternative would be...
Because again, this is when there were more examples of him doing, like, egregious shit, like leaving videos playing, not shouting the people out or whatever.
I don't care how the creator feels. I get to take whoever's content I want, and then doing an evil laugh. Saying sorry and promising not to play my videos on his streams anymore, you know, that's cool, but then he does go ahead and follow it up with stuff like this.
You get yelled at for pausing and talking too much, then you get yelled at for not reacting hard enough. What are you supposed to do now? I mean,
yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy. Hold on. Hassan responds to mild criticism with false Nazi allegations. This was 3 years ago. Why did he call them a Nazi again? If I put Nazi.
Oh, did you clip it?
It is now a 1-minute video on Moolah that's unlisted.
Oh, that clip. I see. Is it called like Wergo Flemp or whatever?
That's not even close because I'm an adult.
You're quickly changing it. You're quickly changing it. Someone in chat said, "Hung if you're a Nazi." So
wait, I don't know.
I'm sure that what's even going on, right? So I just saw loads of people accusing me of being a Nazi kill streamer who went on a 9-hour podcast to complain about Hassan, which is just overtly not an event that ever happened. Speaks, who you had on EFAP as well.
I remember.
So he is another Nazi.
Where's the clip of this? The 2-hour video. Let's scrub through it.
As a React stream. And I tried to
But I just remember like Hassan was very thin-skinned. This was mild criticism. It was made in good faith. It was thoughtful, and I felt like Hassan acted like a complete fucking baby in response.
But only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff.
Immediately after. I don't watch his content now, so he might have fixed it or whatever. And started reacting ethically.
That because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people say that they literally would.
I want to hear JXC's answers to these questions or whatever, because the people that defend React content defend it this way, and I want to know what they have to say about it.
And watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming it. And it doesn't
maybe I'll look at this afterwards.
Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough. You know, I'm sure if you click on a random part in the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might walk away from the screen. But it's about like the communal thing. It's why like fucking Toast started streaming Death Note. It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with.
Oh my god, did someone stream Death Note and actually think that they were going to be able to get away with saying that that's fair use?
Other people. A lot of people go to watch streamers on Twitch for their.
This denim segment is from a Chud stream with Chud and his chat clipped out. BTW? No, it's not, because it would definitely be credited in the description here, right? If that were the case. Surely that's not true. Ethan Klein complaining about fair use and not violating copyright, and the video where he announces the copyright infringement lawsuit, he certainly wouldn't do that, right? What do I even search to verify if that's true? Chud Logic, what, like Denims JXC?
I have to finish writing this.
This was 3 years ago. Denims versus JXC versus Denims clash in contentious debate.
Finish it and get to the end part. Like I thought, when I got to like the middle, I was like, this video just feels very, very, very like
this. Are we sure that this is not anywhere else though?
Driven.
So is there a question in there?
I don't think it's ever worth reading YouTube comments. You know what I mean? And making that like part of your video, I just disagree, I think.
When you say like you want someone to react, are you not just asking them to like react harder? What exactly are you looking for?
I just don't. I disagree with your opinion on this, but I don't.
What part of that do you disagree with? Because I feel like I just went through it all like step by step.
A lot of the time, the reason that they go and watch React streamers is because.
Can you answer this? If 5 people steal from you and you know two personally, and you know they have money and they steal from you because you're a weeb, is it personal if you call the police on them? I genuinely can't tell. Given the last comment, if that's a copy pasta or if this is a serious iteration of it, I genuinely can't tell.
They don't want to have to do the effort of going and scrolling through YouTube and clicking on.
If you really think these people he sues aren't racist, you are Delulu. He is as left-leaning as it gets. The only thing he disagrees with them are that Israelis should be able to exist. Oh, yeah, totally. That's definitely why, that's all he said, you guys. That's all Ethan Klein said. That's definitely why, he's embroiled in all this controversy just because he only said that.
On recommended.
So true.
They want a streamer who, yeah, like, I mean, have you ever scrolled through YouTube for a while and not found a single video that you want to watch?
Really?
So if this debate is it really like not anywhere else? If I put Jay actually Denham's debate. No one links. Okay. It wouldn't have been this one because there's like too much of the chat. Maybe this one. This is on Mueller, Sitch from Adam and Sitch, and Short Fat Otaku in this. It's definitely not this one. I really do think that maybe he actually did cut it out of that Chud Logic video and then not credit them. Holy shit.
React content almost as a curator. So they don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves and watch a bunch.
Clearly the H3 community is sending their best tonight. Lol. Yep. You guys, all he said is that Israelis deserve to exist. And then everybody hated him.
Videos, and
that's all that happens. Nothing else to see here, folks. He just said that.
Go through YouTube and click a bunch of videos. They like going to Twitch because they like to have it as like, this streamer is curating fun content that I want to watch.
Like, I'm sure
From the people that I've talked to, the people who watch Twitch content are specifically there to watch it so they don't have to scroll through YouTube and find a video.
Chad hosted the debate. No, is it true? It seems like he reacts. JXC's video, Denims or whatever. But let me see. I mean, maybe he says at the beginning if he's hosting it. Or like after this teaser. Let's see.
Hello.
Hi, how do I sound?
You sound crystal clear.
Oh my god, he did host it. So that was his video. And he doesn't credit him for it in this. He only links Denim's Frogan like what is this? The lawsuit. Oh, the lawsuit was linked there. Casey Tron coming soon. Oh my god. That's amazing.
If someone watches content, I already said this. If someone watches content on someone else's stream, there is a very low likelihood that they're going to go watch it separately and give you like the view or the like. Or the people who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube.
That, my friend, is
Yeah, I know that comment sounds dumb, but YouTube limits the characters. Also, your initial argument was dumber. If my initial argument was so stupid, why is the only thing that you could think in response is a stupid hypothetical involving, what was it again? Let's reread this. Your genius your like awesome hypothetical for me to engage with. Can you answer this? If 5 people steal from you and you know 2 of them personally, and you know they have money and they steal from you because you're a Jew, is it personal if you call police on them? This is the person who just called me stupid. And that I'm not engaging with their arguments.
Called theft. And you're a thief. And now I'm suing you. This is just a testimony to how brazen and how safe they've, gotten. That she thinks she can go out in public, on video, and say shit like, I'm stealing this content because I want to. I'm coping.
Debate them in the marketplace of ideas. Normally, I would tell people to join the Discord or I would ban them, and this would be a perfect night for that, but it's just going to be a short stream because I want to go back to watching a movie with my boyfriend after this.
Even though I know it's stealing, when people watch it with me, they're definitely not going to go watch the original. Like, you are way too comfortable committing crimes out in the open. Well, there you have it.
Oh my God. Civil offense, not crime.
3 separate lawsuits for 3 separate geniuses. Now, I want to make it clear again, and I hope it's been obvious about why I'm suing these 3 people.
It is. It's for personal vendetta because they criticized you in ways that you didn't like.
And not others. These people not only violated all of the principles of fair use, they also did it maliciously.
Do I have a Discord? No, but I'm usually in the Ponscom Discord.
And that's the part that really got me. I think if you're a reactor on Twitch, for the most part, if you make a good faith effort to comment, and if you make a good faith effort to promote the author, to link to them, to try to drive traffic to the original video, I think you're probably pretty much doing the right thing, and that's fine. And I would never sue someone for that. Take it to these 3 absolute morons to state their intention to steal my property on video. You know, and to all the detractors who are saying that I'm targeting women, that I'm a hypocrite for suing for copyright.
Oh, wait, hold on. I accidentally closed on my like chat thing.
Infringement.
Oh, wait,
I
we're
just
good.
have this to say. I don't care. What I do hope, though, is that you'll support their crowdfunding efforts to defend themselves. Because let's face it, I want to make sure there's money left over for me when I win my lawsuits. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a great time. I'll see you around.
Okay, weird. So he had another stream where he also talks about this, apparently. Hold on. There's this tweet where he says, calls out Hassan fan account for spreading lies about his lawsuit intentions. So, isn't this person Hassan's editor? I was never going to sue Hassan because I asked him to react to it. That's a presumed license. And anyway, his usage is obviously fair use. Actually, the best example of it. I specifically sued these three because they're malicious statements to act as a market substitute. Pretty obvious. Knowingly lying is, of course, part of their propaganda efforts. So he says this. His stream doesn't add much, going to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to watch. I don't want to watch the whole thing. I saw like, it was like a clip. It was like a clip that I saw. Was this. Ethan thinks Rogan Denims and Casey Tron will be begging him to settle.
I'm suing somebody.
First time on the other side.
We've only ever been sued.
It's like I said, I was closing one front and opening another, and I got to tell you, for the first time in my life, it is. I'm not going to say it is a nicer feeling. Let's say being on the other side,
right?
Especially when you know your cases are like easy slam dunks. These people are going to be begging me to settle.
This is our first time suing somebody.
First time on the other side.
We've only ever been sued.
It's like I said, I was closing one front and opening another, and I got to.
He went from being somebody that people were like, wow, isn't it cool that he was able to like win in a lawsuit about fair use with somebody that like frivolously sued him just because he made fun of them or whatever, to like now he's the one doing it.
Tell you, for the first time in my life, it is. I'm not going to say it is a nicer feeling. Let's say being on the.
Yeah, shocking. Can't believe it feels better to sue someone than to be sued.
The other side,
right?
Especially when you know your cases are like easy slam dunks. These people are going to be begging me to settle.
I'm suing.
Casey has like $3 to her name and she uses it all for weed as often as she can. She'll absolutely beg to settle. I mean, wow, it's almost like he's punching down and he's just doing this to cause a headache for these people because it's a way to take out his personal vendetta. That's it. Did you not comprehend any of the video? No, I think I pretty much got the gist of it. The gist is that it is a flimsy cover for it's using copyright infringement or whatever as like a fig leaf to carry out his personal vendetta against creators that have criticized him or said statements that he doesn't like. I do understand it. What was the argument again for like why he's not going after I swear I saw somewhere else, maybe it was on Twitter, that he like explained why he's not going after Asmongold and XQC, even though they also reacted. Lol, no, you didn't. Clearly. Okay, so what point did I miss? CQC, nasty, Nate, enlighten me. Can you answer if Five Putties steal from you because they know you're a Power Ranger? Is it personal to call Zordon on them? It's fairly early on in the video, right? Hold on. I bet XQC, hold on. No, we'll go over here. Wait. Okay. Yeah, here he said, here's why he's not doing it, apparently.
XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a
It's clearly said in the video, Jesus Christ. LOL, if it's so clear, then why don't you just summarize it, since you're like such a genius? And he said it so succinctly. If the argument is clear, you have enough characters in YouTube to write it out in a couple of sentences. Tell me. Summarize it for me. It's only a 20-minute video. Again, you can do it. Tell me what I missed.
malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see are much, much worse.
So wait,
He
what?
hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first? I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse.
What does that mean? This like malicious infringer thing. Why would that have anything to do with it? If, regardless of what your intention is, whether you intentionally or unintentionally violate or infringe upon somebody else's copyright, the law treats it the same. It's infringement or it's not. It doesn't matter if you tried your very, very best, but if you still did it, the owner or whoever retains the copyright would be able to. You just watched it. LOL. My God. What is the point? It is a stupid point. This is not a point whatsoever. It's literally him saying, one, he's not going after XQC. He's not going after Asmongold. He's not going after Hassan. He's not going after Bada Banana, maybe because he's out of the country. But for the other people, it's literally because what? They have money and it would look terrible for him. So he's going after 3 people that are widely regarded as lolcows. So it's easy to go after them and to get people whipped up into a frenzy and to take his side. I think your assessment that he's taking the most meta legal avenue to successfully sue them is correct, but I think the point of it is the people he's suing have been making it personal by playing weird fomenty games. What does that mean? Weird tormenty games. What does that mean? What games? Again, they made disparaging remarks, comments in their streams. I don't deny that. That doesn't entitle somebody to open up frivolous lawsuits and say it's about copyright when it's obviously not. Like, regardless of whether or not some technical legal argument could be made, that doesn't make it, like, righteous to me or whatever. That just means it's like, cool. You're a multimillionaire that has the money to open up frivolous lawsuits against 3 creators that you say simultaneously are lolcows or irrelevant. They're just rising creators. They don't get any viewership. Nobody cares what they think. They constantly debunk themselves. They embarrass themselves all the time. And yet also they are the people that have caused the most amount of harassment. They're the biggest source of his issues. And they must be taken to court over this because them, like, even though their 3 platforms combined don't even hold a candle to one of his 2 main huge platforms, they're somehow a threat to Ethan Klein as far as like viewership or product or market replacements go. The kids eating poop, CPS calls, schools sent to their house. They talk about it in jest. They have a legal right to do it. He can't sue them for it. I don't deny that either. It's just petty versus petty. Okay, but you're putting people making petty, rude, mean comments on the same scale as like a multimillionaire, like hitting them with frivolous lawsuits that he's like boasting about winning in a different clip that we just watched because, oh, they'll be begging to settle. It's so cut and dry. Yeah, good on him, honestly. Why not? If he loses, he will look stupid, but if he wins, good on him. So just might makes right. So because he can, he should. So because I have the First Amendment protection to go out into the streets and like protest alongside like the KKK, I ought to do it, right? Good for me, because I can do it. What is it? Why are people talking about mens rea? CPS, school CPS, sword, school CPS, same cultish BS every time. Well, that's the thing is like this whole, like even in that comment or whatever, the kids eating shit or whatever, why were they making fun of him? Where did they get that clip? You mean the clip where he overshared and talked about his kids and how the fact that they have giardia and how they the only way you can get giardia is by like eating a shit? You mean where he like overshared on the podcast with like that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people watched? And then people dunked on him for it. I agree that, yeah, it's shitty, it's mean, it's rude, it's not charitable, But one, welcome to the internet. Two, that's literally what Ethan Klein did for a living and how he made his platform. Three, do you have any evidence that these three creators in any way are directly responsible for or did calls to action to get their audiences mobilized to contact CPS and weaponize it against their family? OMG, she's a snarker. Wow, LOL. Oh my god. These are Ethan Klein's strongest soldiers, you guys. I'm a snarker apparently. Because I have criticisms of Ethan and these lawsuits, you guys, I'm now a snarker. Are you now or have you ever been an H3 snark subreddit participant? They did just call me a Redditor by proxy. It was so fucking disrespectful. You are, LOL. Sorry. Actually, I do have time for a call in. CQC, Nasty, Nate, do you want to call in and talk to me right now? Right now and debate me on this. We're all dying. McCarthyism, but for snarkers, indeed. You failed to follow as to why you suing. You were told this before. So that's a no? Again, Discord or ban? What are you going to do? No, because I'm on my phone. Oh, perfect. Your cellular device allows, which you have internet clearly. You got Discord? You want to download it? If you download it, you can come BTFO me to my face in front of like 120 people live. So come on, let's do it. Tell me why I'm wrong. Embarrass me. Tell me why this is an open and shut case of clear copyright infringement and how I'm a snarker. Tell me all about it. Give it to me straight. You can ban me? Aw, damn. You guys. Nah, you ain't worth it. Oh, see, that's why they won't talk to me, because I'm not worth it. See, they have enough time to like be like screeching from my chat, but apparently actually confronting me and BTFOing me and like embarrassing me in front of a bunch of people, they can't do that because they only have a phone. That would be that part. They'll spare me, right? I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it. But spending their time screaming at me from YouTube chat, definitely worth it. Can you bring that Israeli guy? I have no idea who the person that's like here's a question or whatever. Like if you're like Jewish and they call the cops on you, can't you call the police back or whatever the fuck? Out alpha advice trader aid. Getting called a Redditor was just too far. It was. I mean, that's really where I like take the most offense, honestly. Hold on. I have to open. I like accidentally shut down my like chat thingy. My Castor Labs, whatever, caffeinated. No. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Now everyone's just fighting with each other in chat. Will you respond to the reason he's suing them and not others is because he has the best case against them. They are taking views and therefore money from him. I've already conceded there may or may not be, there may very well be some technical legal argument or case to make that they are technically doing this and he could win and they could lose. It's also that another thing that makes that likely is the fact that he is incredibly wealthy and he's going up against people that do not seem incredibly wealthy given their viewership and stature on the internet. These are not like huge creators or anything like that. In fact, Ethan Klein himself has in this very video made fun of Frogan for being like the rising star. That's a dig at her viewership and the fact that she's literally gotten awards for what, like, what's the beef there? It's that like she was like she got nominated for like Twitch Rising Star at their like version of like the Streamies or whatever, like creator awards twice, and yet her viewership is what? What's Frogan's viewership? Average viewership. So her average viewers, it's 118 viewers. Okay, so that was one thing. That's not a technical thing. That is the answer to your question of why he's suing them and not other people like XQC and Asmin. Just don't ask that then. Wait, what? Well, I only mentioned that because I'm saying that my criticism of it is not. I've not been saying he probably has zero legal case. Again, like the fact that he is wealthy or whatever is going to influence this decision. It's possible that he does have a case or whatever. But I'm saying that I don't think that he actually gives a fuck about copyright infringement because he's giving a pass to XQC on the basis that, oh, see, if he copyright infringed, he didn't do it intentionally. So it's okay. Even though if what you're upset about is viewers being taken from you, people siphoning views by reacting, but they're not actually transforming your content, then regardless of how friendly or kind or nice XQC is, since he is one of the biggest streamers ever, it should be a huge issue to Ethan Klein, who apparently cares so much about copyright infringement, that he would go after him instead of these three creators who, again, their combined reach doesn't mean anything. And a stated intent, again, I don't think that's really going to matter much because it's not going to override fair use. Just because they said this is what I'm intending to do, it then has to be evaluated. Did they actually do it? They have to look at the content and see, did you actually transform this content? Even if you said, oh, I just want people to watch it through me or whatever so that they don't give him views or whatever. I don't know that that's like going to be the slam dunk. I didn't say he said you had no case. Oh my God, this is like the ultimate debate, bro, whoever this is. He is fighting where he has the best case because they said out loud their intention to steal views / money from him. But why is he taking out this lawsuit? Again, why? Is it really because I'm demonstrating the ways that he is being inconsistent about this, and that if it were really about copyright infringement, it would be what? Because again, just because he says he's giving XQC the benefit of the doubt, but it wouldn't be hard to prove in a court of law that regardless of how nice XQC is, or maybe he didn't intend to, just because he didn't intend to, that doesn't mean that he didn't violate or he didn't infringe upon their copyright. Do you know the 4 factors of fair use? I learned one of them today. It's like market replacements or something like that, but no. The key is whether the 3 streamers commented substantively, criticizing presumably on the content nuke, or whether they simply played the content nuke. I'm rooting for them. I mean, this just seems like, again, he's doing it because he can. Like, what did you say or whatever? Like, no, I don't know the 4 factors of fair use. I'm not a lawyer. This is not really like, again, I'm not really making like legal arguments. I'm pointing out where I, as a layman, see weaknesses in the case that he's already trying to prevent, or to, in the argument that he's trying to make. But one, that's just my layman opinion. It doesn't matter. And 2, this is like a meme lawsuit to me. It's not serious. The fact that, like, again, where's the fucking, it was page 17 or 16, the Grand Mufti thing. I think encouraging creators restreaming the content instead of the original should be frowned upon. Yeah, but it has to be, I mean, I mostly agree with that. But then do DMCA takedowns. Why this lawsuit? The effect of the use on the market, correct. That is one of the factors to prove something isn't for you. So that's why the intent matters, especially when they say it out loud. I know, but what are the other 3 factors? If you only have 1 out of 4 factors, that doesn't sound like a slam dunk lawsuit to me. Because again, we already have, at least in Denham's case or whatever. No, I closed it. Hold on. At least in Denham's case, that her thing was transformative. Not that this is hers. Not that this is her thing.
They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
He isn't suing XQC because it will be harder to prove since he didn't explicitly say his intent to steal views. Copyright infringement, you can sue somebody for copyright. If I restream a movie, okay, and just because I don't say I'm trying to directly steal and siphon views from Paramount so people don't support them, that wouldn't save me. If I do that, then I do it. And it can be proven in a court of law. And the way that they're going to do that is analyzing the content and seeing, did she just show a movie or did she have permission to do it? That's not going to determine the case. Or like, that's not going to be the thing that like tips it. Again, 1 hour and 42 minutes, 3.5 million views. This is almost 4 hours, 5K views on a fan channel. Re-upload. The other ones are purpose and character, nature of the copyrighted work, 3 amounts for effective on value. But if you did say that, it would be easier to prove it. Yeah, but what about you're ignoring the others. You're ignoring the other 3 factors. You yourself are already like acknowledge that there are 4 different factors that go into it. Just because you have one, and great, you have one, but then that could be entirely negated or irrelevant if the other 3 don't hold up to scrutiny. Today I learned from the very smart H3 cultist that I can copyright infringe so long as I just never say, F you Disney, I'm gonna steal your money. No, literally. Literally, like that is the logic of what people are saying, which is that it's okay to infringe upon copyright if you have good intentions, if you didn't mean to do it, if it was just an oopsie or whatever. That apparently saves you in court. It doesn't. I would assume he thinks he has a case and talked to lawyers beforehand. Why else would he put out this video? He's got to have some confidence. No? What do you mean, why else would he put out this video? This video was uploaded today, a few hours ago. If I show less. This was uploaded 8 hours ago. It has 500,000 views. It's generating tons of viewership and controversy for him. And are you reading this? This lawsuit is not even serious. This is directly from the lawsuit. Hold on. If I put the Mufti thing. In the wake of October 7th, Hassan emerged as the modern incarnation of the Grand Mufti Haj Amin al-Husseini. Like al-Husseini, Hassan used his massive platform to spread genocidal rhetoric about anyone advocating for the right of Jewish self-determination in their ancestral homeland, i.e. Zionists. The primary difference between Hassan and al-Husseini is that al-Husseini worked with the Nazis and advocated the annihilation of Jews, while Hassan advocates the annihilation of all Zionists. Since the vast majority of Jews in the United States say caring about Israel is essential or important, this would necessarily include the vast majority of Jews, even if they support the Palestinian cause and vehemently condemn the actions of the Israeli government. And then they literally include photos of the Muftis. But does it have to hold up to strict scrutiny, moderate scrutiny, or merely rational basis? Where's Pisco when we need him? I know, right? I have no idea. Again, where's the person that's like, wait, Moody, was it you that said this? Like, oh, if he had a lawyer, if he had a lawyer look over it, surely he must think he has a chance, right? Like, this is just a meme lawsuit to have out there. It's a legal document where he put like his grievances in it because he can do that. I mean, it's his money, go for it. I just think it's a colossal waste of time. And anybody who's like being like, no, it's serious. I'm really wondering if they've actually looked at this lawsuit, because just cursory glances of it shows to me that it's not really that serious. I saw this on Twitter and I genuinely thought it was a joke. Mens rea, my nuts. Why did you read that? Because it was funny. Reddit lawyer for the win. A lawyer will take any case to court for the right money, which is why Ethan was able to get a lawyer to file a copyright lawsuit where he talks about Hassan being like al-Husseini. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing, is that like, I don't know that it has to do with, what is it? And you can file a lawsuit against anything, whether or not it'll, actually not get struck down is a separate thing, but. I have a JD in chat. You worked in criminal law, not IP. Political speech is very strongly protected, and all 3 streamers were engaged in it. It's harder for them to prove it was transformative because they said it was to take views from him. It goes against... You guys are moving too fast. It goes against being transformative for a different purpose than the original. If you have case law that supports that, tell me what to look up. Is there a case law that has been decided by a judge that if somebody states an intention, despite their work nonetheless being fair use transformative because they ended up doing a bunch of criticism, they ended up levying transforming the content, that is all negated because they said out loud, yeah, I hope I get views. I get more views than that person. Like, I can tell you right now, Sam Cedar has pretty much issued a fatwa against Dave Rubin. If you search Sam Cedar, Dave Rubin, what comes up is literally there's a playlist, 219 videos where he is reacting to Dave Rubin. And he said the explicit reason why he, I don't know where the clip is, but Sam Cedar has said before, the reason why he spends so much time reacting to Dave Rubin is because if people are searching up Dave Rubin, he hopes his videos of him reacting to him come up and people can see him debunk him. And so they can know, oh, this guy's a grifter. I shouldn't take him seriously. So he wants to destroy his career, discredit him, make sure people listen to Sam Cedar over Dave Rubin. If Dave Rubin tried to use that as evidence that when he responds to him, it's in bad faith and it means the content inherently can't be transformative because he said that, that seems silly to me, especially given how First Amendment works in this country and how courts err on the side of caution and usually side with the person making the criticism. You understand their comments about wanting to steal views is a material difference that affects why they are being sued and not XQC, right? That's all I'm trying to argue. I know that that's what he says, that's the reason. I'm telling you that I disagree with him, and I feel like I see through his, again, flimsy excuse for this, and I just don't think he wants to take the hit to his reputation that it would cause to go up against a huge streamer like XQC, who, again, when he debated, XQC made himself look like a fool. XQC literally argued at one point, I think before he debated Ethan, that he should be allowed to react to movies on stream. He should be allowed to react to sports events. And actually, if he was reacting to the World Cup, then if he has increased viewership, that's because people are there to see him react to the World Cup, and he wouldn't have increased viewership because he's streaming the fucking World Cup. He doesn't want to do it because those are creators with huge platforms, lots of money, even though, again, it would be, is it really inconceivable to people that it would be hard to get XQC on violating fair use?
From Majestic.
XQC, who, again, I've never heard him say anything of substance. His entire channel just seems to be the fact that, again, funny accent. He was big because he was a gamer. And he talks fast, and people make fun of him because of that. Do you actually think that it would be just as easy to argue XQC on the merits compared to these three? Don't you think their statements about stealing views changes the case at all? If it does, it's very little. And yes, I think it is. It doesn't. You do not have to have stated intention to infringe upon someone's copyright. You can actually say the opposite. XQC could infringe upon someone's copyright, and right before he could say, I'm explicitly not trying to infringe upon their copyright, and nonetheless infringe upon their copyright, and XQC could not point to that statement and saved himself from getting in trouble with respect to DMCA laws. This is a video from JCS Criminal Psychology. They link it or whatever.
Chad, this is just cough up chat. Guys, chat. This is Detective Slop.
No, I don't think she can eat. She doesn't typically eat, so. But no.
How can I make her more comfortable? If I can help you, please.
Because
okay, some commentary. Let's see what this is like.
In this situation,
Chad, I feel like she's trying to back this up, whatever. Because as a reason not to talk, whatever. But they don't need a reason to not talk to the police. What?
I'm not trying to.
Okay, so the original video is what? What is this?
You stay walking up.
The original video was posted 2 weeks ago. And the length is 1 hour and 15 minutes. XQC's is 1 hour and 30? So 15 minutes of reaction content in this. 15 minutes. Do you think that just because XQC didn't say, oh, my goal is to steal from JCS, that would mean that JCS wouldn't have a case against him, that his copyright was nonetheless infringed? 15 minutes. If let's pretend I'm friends with JCS. If they came up to me, they were like, I kind of want to sue this guy for copyright infringement. And I tried to say to them, I know that you want to do that. I know you think you have a good case because he's a huge streamer and he got 134,000 views and he probably had literally tens of thousands of people watching him live. But unfortunately, he didn't say right before he started that he's explicitly trying to get views from you. So your case is probably not going to be that easy to argue, JCS. I'm sorry. That wouldn't negate it. You understand that is only one factor for fair use? Yes, that's my point. That is one factor of 4. It's only one factor of 4. It's not the determining factor. It's going to be a combination of all the circumstances and looking at all of those different ones. And I don't know if the law recognizes, prioritizes one over the other. But all right, I feel like I'm looping. I feel like I'm going in circles. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the stream if you haven't already, or subscribe to me if you enjoy my content. If you're watching on Twitch, please go ahead and give me a follow or subscribe to me, and you can get access to an ad-free experience as well as emotes. And if you want to donate, you can follow the donation link pinned in my Twitch chat or in my YouTube description. And if you want to follow me, I'm at StraightRaider _ on absolutely everything. This is just going to be a short stream. I will be back tomorrow probably. Maybe at some time. I don't know when. But yeah. Who are we rating? Where are we going? Let's see. But no, my raid feature is gone. Hold on. Why is this doing this? My Twitch dashboard is not showing my raid feature. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, where are we going? Is Kidnotkin live? Who's live? Kidnotkin. Okay. You guys go watch Kidnotkin. We love him. It's ominously called The Live Stream Did Not Take Place. And he's watching a video and he's awfully quiet. Just saying, might be Kidnotkin. You heard it here first. Exclusive. Might be in violation of copyright. Go to his chat. Check it out. Make sure it's legit. If not, obviously, uphold copyright law. Report him. I'm kidding, obviously. All right. See you guys. Bye.